People often say, and it's certainly true from people I've interviewed over the years, that you're a product of your environment, particularly of your parents.
Yes.
In a November 2011 Facebook post, your father, Emery, wrote that the eternal problem of the alpha male was protecting his flock of women. He said, the times I struck a woman, brackets, in passion, I never left a mark, no trace, hyper control, super control of a human animal. They love me still.
I've never heard that before in my life.
Wow.
I'm smiling, man, because I can imagine his voice saying it.
You can.
I can imagine his voice saying it. The only times I've struck a woman, in brackets, in passion. Have you ever struck a woman in passion, Piers?
No.
You haven't?
No.
Not a little spank?
Well,
once.
Let's keep this above board.
I want to, Piers, but I'm saying, like, I understand how you're trying to phrase this.
No, I don't
and
understand.
Again, my father is dead and can't defend himself.
I'm not trying to phrase it in any way. I'm just curious what you think he meant by that.
I honestly don't know. I mean, keep in mind, my father died when I was 27, and that post was written a long time ago. I've never heard it before. I've never seen it before.
But what kind of father was it in terms of the values he instilled in you and Andrew?
Oh, he was a wonderful man, and he was a very protective man over his family and the people he cared about. I mean, they got divorced many, many years ago, but even with his dying breath, he would have jumped in to fight 10 men to defend my mother and her honor. That's the kind of guy he was, super protective and super, involved in everyone he loves life, even if he was far away. The phone calls were constant, the emails were constant, and he held us very accountable as young men.
Andrew tweeted last year, my dad was a chess genius, CIA operative. My mother was a dinner lady. They had nothing in common. Dad said she fed you boys healthy meals every day, cleaned the house, and was largely quiet. I loved her very much. That's literally all men want.
Are you asking if that's an accurate description of my parents' relationship?
Yeah.
Perhaps, yeah. But my mother was a wonderful mother. See, I don't think.
But they split up.
Of course they did. But that doesn't. Well,
so when he says that's literally all men want,
they split up way before I was old enough to understand marriage or sexual or male or female dynamics. By the way, so I can't even comment on their marriage. What I can comment on is how they were as parents. And what I will say is, I don't look back on my childhood raised in a council estate. On state benefits, I was free school lunches. I don't look back on that and think, oh, my mother was a terrible mother because we didn't have any money. Because I don't think it was my mother's job to, I guess, provide as much as my father was doing his best from the United States. But I will look back and say my mother was an absolutely wonderful mother.
His father, Emery, would hit his woman, whatever, but make sure not to leave a mark? Is that what he said?
Here's the thing, man. Words matter. They really do. I know. There's the proverbial saying, "Actions speak louder than words," but in this situation, out of the heart, the mouth speaks.
When you're a social media influencer, words matter.
Just a man in general.
Yeah,
words matter. Out of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Correct. When
you say certain things, regardless of if you're an amazing dad like Tristin is claiming, that his dad was the most epic, could do no wrong type of dad. Both of him and Andrew both believe that. Actions speak louder than words, but words matter. They come out of the heart. You have to be accountable for your words. When you say certain things and then don't apologize for it or don't take accountability, then you're setting a precedent and inviting men into a dirty bathwater type situation where, come drink the water, come drink the Kool-Aid, but it's 98% pure, but it's about 2% dirty. So let's just make sure that, you drink the water, drink what I'm offering. That's not the point. The point is it's 2% dirty. You cannot throw the 2% out just to appease the 98%.
I completely agree with what you said. What do you think about what he said, his father said? Men just want a woman that will feed their kids, and be pleasant, or what was it that he said?
Yeah, just be quiet.
Just be quiet.
It's a trauma response.
What do you think about that?
It's a trauma response. I'm very curious to see how his dad was raised.
Yeah.
What was his dynamic like with his father? Tristan's grandfather. Did his grandfather beat his dad? Did they have a good fatherly bond relationship? Because when you're raised by a good father, which we both have, you are taught to honor and cherish your wife. And you also want to hear her perspective. You want to invite her in to make those really good decisions. You want a partner, not a slave. And having a slave is be quiet, don't say anything. You speak when you're spoken to. Otherwise, be quiet and just raise the kids and not do anything
else.
else.
Well, that's the thing. If that's the case, then every wife is interchangeable.
Exactly.
I could just find another woman that does
Which is
that
what
exact
they've
same
done.
thing. Yeah, I could just find another woman that does exactly.
Neither of them are married.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they have mother of their kids, but that's it.
That doesn't matter though, because when you have, it's not that it doesn't matter. When you have a covenant where you say, until death do us part, in the good times and the bad, I will be there for you. You're making a covenant and a vow to say, I'm choosing you, and saying no to all the other ones. And the woman is saying that. Mm-hmm. The women, it's so much easier to find a man as a really attractive woman than it is as a man. So when that woman marries you and she's at that altar and she's walking down the aisle and she comes up to you, she is saying no to all the other men to say yes to you and making a covenant before God for the rest of her life that she will be bonded to you.
No, 100%. And that's why.
And that's what doesn't match in this equation.
I chose a woman as my wife that would help me, that would push me to be better, and that would truly love me for who I am and just take care of my heart, but not let me settle for less. That would, as a team, we can go further than we can separately.
Yes.
I don't like this, that the man goes out and does everything, comes home, the woman just smiles and feeds you, and that's her only role. You know,
and
like,
she gives you sex when you want it.
Yeah, like I want to be able to make enough money where my wife doesn't have to work unless she wants to. I agree with them in that aspect where if the woman chooses to work, great, but she doesn't have to, right? But I want a partner that whenever we have traumatic situation in life, a friend dies, whoever it can be, we move and we encourage each other. We push each other to be better. And that's something that in the whole Tate, family passing down from their dad, a relationship isn't seen in that way. And it's not healthy if it's not.
It's not.
If you enjoyed this video of Tristin Tate and Piers Morgan, click right here for the entire reaction of the interview.